Hey, this is Marcus Washington from MTC Media. So the Commanders have found their guy. It's going to be Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn is probably best known for three things: Legion of Boom out there with the Seattle Seahawks, having Dallas having one of the better defenses during the regular season, and it melted down in the playoffs, and last but not least, blowing the 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl. But for the Commanders, they had missed out on so many opportunities, whether it was because they were hired by someone else, a guy like McDonald who ended up in Seattle, or they just decided that they didn't want to leave where they were, like a guy like Ben Johnson. That left them in, left the Commanders in just a bad position. They had the last hire. A lot of guys were off the board, even though I would like to have seen them bring in Anthony Weaver. It's hard to argue that that they made a mistake in the sense of you have a person who has led a team to a Super Bowl, no matter what happened in that game, a guy with copious amounts of experience, a guy who has managed a couple of really good defenses, even though it would have been great to see an offensive coach get this job. I was all for guys like Johnson. I was all for, that up-and-coming offense coordinator for this job. I thought it would have married so well with the new ownership, this new breath of fresh air for the fan base, for the organization, and all those things. But it just didn't work out that way. As for Eric Bieniemy, he's under contract until 2024. I would assume that he's not going to be retained under this new staff, and timing is really bad for him because, again, we're late in the process. Because we're late in the process, there's just not a lot of jobs open, and going to college should not be an option for him. He needs to stay in the NFL. So what is next for Bieniemy is very cloudy. You have to wonder that if Washington could have gotten their coach sooner, and then they decided not to retain Bieniemy, would a place like Las Vegas have been his landing spot, where the Raiders just hired Cliff Kingsbury yesterday? Would that have been an option? We'll never know. But the timing is off for Bieniemy. I wish him the best, and hopefully he'll find a landing spot in the NFL.